I know you like the palm of my hand, Arturo, and I'm telling you, you would.
Salma Hayek, welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Give me a history lesson here, because I understand the director of this movie, Robert Towne, came to you with this role a while ago.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to do it.
No.
Why?
Because I didn't understand the part. I thought she was too mean, he was too mean. I didn't understand the relationship. I was too young. 8 years after that, I read it again. And I'm like, what was I thinking? You know, it's one of the best written parts I've ever
So, okay, that's
read.
a better explanation, because the way I read it, when he approached you 8 years ago, you said, no, typecasting. I'm going to fall into typecasting playing this role, and that perhaps now in your career that didn't seem as much to be a worry for you.
No, it's not really about that. It's about maturity, and it's very interesting. I don't know if you've seen movies that you thought they were so great and you've been recommending them for years, and you see them again and you're embarrassed. It's like, what was I thinking?
Right.
And this was something that really reflected for me how much I had grown in that time, because I could understand so many things about the intricacy of the story and the characters.
Tell me a little bit about the character. She's a Mexican immigrant. She's living in the Los Angeles area during the Depression. She's taking a job as a waitress because it's the only job she can get. And she wants a better life for herself.
Yes, 1930s, it was not only the Depression, but the height of racism, not just for Mexicans, but also for Italians. And I mean, I just want to clarify, because I have to defend her. It's not that she wanted to marry a rich American. She just wanted to marry an American. It's a story about a woman that has very little dreams. And she has this great spirit and this great passion. And it shows how hard it was to accomplish the tiniest of dreams at that time.
She runs into Colin Farrell's character, Bandini, who is a writer.
Who's a writer.
And they both want the same thing. They both want a better life for themselves. You know, she wants to go about it. She'll marry an American to make that dream come true. He wants to marry the blonde-haired, blue-eyed California girl. It seems to me their relationship, their attraction is one of those, and I don't know if you've had one of these in your personal life, that the attraction is based on friction, almost.
Yes, or maybe the friction comes from an attraction that they're fighting. Because not only he wants to marry the blonde girl, at least somebody who knows how to read. He's a writer, you know. She doesn't even know how to read. And all she wants from life is a little bit of love and a green card. And, you know, but respect for their children.
She doesn't fit his bill. I mean, she's not the person he needs, and yet it's a relationship where I don't know whether to scratch your eyes out or rip your clothes off. That's the way this thing turns.
It's very passionate, and it's a story about how you fall in love with everything you never wanted to fall in love with. And it's the question, should you fight it, should you not, you know?
I watched the movie, and one of the first times we see you, you're in the restaurant in your waitress outfit, and I said, wow. Without making it sound like a shock, you gained some weight for this movie, not a lot of weight, but in the curve department.
Yes.
Why was that necessary?
That's where I get it. What do you want me to do?
That's just where it lands?
That's just where it lands.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
How much weight did you gain?
About 12, 15 pounds.
But why was that important for this role?
Because I was coming from a movie after the sunset where, you know, I was very tight and skinny, you know, I was in a bathing suit a lot. This is 1930s, and it was a waitress. And they didn't look like that then. There's something motherly and relaxed about it. She's just a woman that's like a volcano, but at the same time, I mean, she's very strong, but at the same time, she breaks your heart.
But it's interesting because it takes a lot of confidence, because you said you did a movie before you were in a bathing suit a lot, and so you got lean and mean and buff. Yet in this movie, you do a love scene.
I'm naked.
Naked, yeah, and yet you've got 12 extra pounds on you. How'd you feel about that?
Well, I felt it was the right choice for the character, and I really enjoyed making that choice and eating all this wonderful food in
You
South
just got to eat anything you wanted?
Yes, and every time I was overeating, I would say, yes, this is for the art, you know, and it was delicious to do it.
Well, speaking of the way you look, the Oscars were this week, obviously, and we did our morning after fashion rundown. I just want to show the picture of you on the red carpet. Beautiful dress. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I have to admit that I gained the weight, and then I felt comfortable with it, and I haven't completely lost all of it. But it's okay. I think it's all right. What do you think? Look at his face. You missed that shot. Where were you? He started coughing on
I
top
think it
of
looks just fine.
Okay.
I think you're right. That just happens to be where it falls.
That it is, yeah.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to see you.
The movie is called Ask the Dust, and it opens tomorrow in select theaters, and you'll be able to see it nationwide on the following Friday. Salma, good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're back in a moment, right after these messages in your local news.
Healthline 3's